Hello neighbor, this is Curt with etrailer. Today we're going to take a look at the Kuat Piston SR bike rack and see how it works with our 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. Now if you watch this video and you have some questions about this bike rack, or if you've decided to go with it and you've got some experiences to share, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. We love to take those and share them with our other neighbors in order to help them make the best decisions for themselves. So in regards to how it's going to fit on the Outlander Sport, as you can see back here, even if we're on a really bumpy road, we've got a lot of clearance where the bike's not going to interfere with the vehicle. In fact, the bike that we have on here is a rather large one. It's got large pedals, 15-inch handlebars, and as you can see, even on the most rugged conditions, it's not going to come anywhere close to hitting the back of your vehicle. Now, as far as how far out it comes from the bumper, well, you are going to have a little bit of a hindrance to your visibility through the rear view camera. So knowing just what kind of footprint this leaves behind the vehicle is crucial. So being that it's a single bike carrier, this really is only going to add an extra 15 inches off of the bumper, but that's enough to keep in mind if you're backing into a tight space or trying to parallel park. It's going to have, like with any bike carrier, you're going to have a little bit of interference with that rear view camera, with your taillights, and with the license plate as well. So that's kind of to be expected anyway. But we're going to take a look at the ground clearance as well, which is at about 11.5 inches. Now 11.5 inches, there's no rise to the shank, so it's right at hitch height. And really, because it's close enough to the vehicle, I'm not too concerned with you bottoming out on a steeper incline or a driveway, but it is something that you always want to be conscious of. Another thing we want to take a look at in regards to ground clearance is just how high up do we need to lift our bike, which is at about the 15.5 inch mark. Now, here's the thing about this bike carrier. It has a weight capacity of 100 pounds. So even some of the heaviest e-bikes out there on the market, you're going to be able to carry with this bike rack. However, that's a lot of weight to be lifting up and down all the time. So check out the collapsible aluminum ramp that is available for this bike rack right here at etrailer.com. So as far as some features of the bike rack itself, one of the main ones that's going to set it apart from other carriers is the fact that it has an included cable lock. The lock for this is key-to-like to the hitch pin lock that you'll get as well. So for security, it's got a cable lock to keep the bike onto the rack for you, and then a hitch pin lock to keep the rack attached to your hitch. And again, all keyed through the same key here. But first thing we need to do is take our cable lock off. And when it comes to loading and unloading the bike, the reason it's called the Piston SR is because of these two mechanisms here. You could just simply depress that. You could do it with your foot if you got your hands full, anything like that. Makes it really easy. And then to attach it onto the bike, it ratchets up into place and you just clamp it down tightly to secure it. But for the sake of taking it off, we're just going to go ahead and pop that down. We're going to depress it again and get this completely clear, okay? From this side, we are going to brace the bike because we need to have something holding it upright. I'm going to depress that again, and now we're able to just roll the bike back a little bit and remove it from our carrier. Now we're ready to store the bike or go ahead and hit the trail. Now, since this is just a single bike carrier, it doesn't really have a tilt-away to get into the lift gate, nor does it have the fold-up stowaway mode to remove any extra from the bumper. So our measurements on the bike rack, whether it has a bike on it or not, are really going to be exactly the same. Now when you go ahead and clamp this all the way down to put it in the stowaway mode, there is a little latch here that you can bring up that's going to hold these down into place. And now we're going to have complete visibility of the back of our vehicle and with our rear view camera. So it's not going to interfere with it like some bike racks might. So this is actually a really minimal footprint that you could put back here. The bike rack itself actually weighs about 42 pounds on its own. So it may not be something you feel like taking on and off every time you're not using it. So having this nice compact stowaway position is a really, really nice little feature for it. But all in all, I think this would be an excellent choice for you and your Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. I'm Curt with etrailer. Thanks for stopping by.